Give me a simple definition of blockchain, which even a 10-year-old can understand.
So if I were running a lemonade stand, I would have a ledger, who was buying what and how much money I was bringing in. So think of the blockchain like a digital ledger.
Right.
So an accounting ledger. So then what are the unique features? Decentralized, you require no third-party intermediation. It's immutable or very, very hard to change the records.
Adding on, someone is running a lemonade stand. If a transaction comes in, like for example, someone buys a lemonade, everyone who has that ledger has access to it, right? And immutable, you're trying to say that once a transaction has come in, it can't be changed. And everyone has a copy of it. The blockchains came, and then a lot of cryptocurrencies came after that, like Bitcoin being the most prominent. The value of Bitcoin, we have seen it go up and down. What determines the value of a Bitcoin?
The most important thing to keep in mind is this is a very, very young technology. So a lot of the volatility is just going to be by its nature, by its young nature. As it grows up, its volatility will dampen, and we're starting to see that now. In the context of valuation, think of it like a commodity, okay? So we're mining Bitcoin. This concept of mining is really just validating transactions. It's a way of encouraging people or incentivizing people to validate a transaction.
I want to also make it more simple. So for example, every Bitcoin, there's a block, right? And multiple transactions together make a block. Now these blocks are linked together, and that's what makes a blockchain, right?
Right.
Everything on the blockchain is run on computers. It's a network of computers. Before any transaction goes in, it needs to be validated, like so through these computers, and that's where the mining comes in.
It just takes a lot of computing power.
Absolutely.
So then that's the cost of validating a transaction. What's your reward? You get a little bit of Bitcoin.
Correct.
If you think of it in the concept of production, of a mining, lower boundary of the value of Bitcoin should be equal to the cost of mining. You can think of it as the energy that it takes to produce a Bitcoin should be the value of that Bitcoin. So then we can monitor this. Now, if there's no interest in Bitcoin, then the energy required to validate these transactions will come down, the value will come down. But if there's a lot of interest in Bitcoin, then the cost or the excitement about validating these transactions, the benefit of validating these transactions will go up. The energy costs will go up. So too will the floor value of Bitcoin, that lower value. As you deviate from that cost of producing a Bitcoin, then you're getting into what I would consider technological speculation. What will Bitcoin become? Much the way we'll speculate about a Tesla or a Google. It's we may be able to determine the near-term value based on its current production costs or earnings potential, but that forward value that gets incorporated into the asset will capture all sorts of different things. And I think of those things as largely technological in nature. So the further you get away from your cost of production, the more it's capturing those expected future technological features. And then that's the component that will generate more volatility.